Brazilian guys would come like, oh, I never kissed a Japanese girl. Like, quando eu falo português, eu acho que eu sou mais expressiva.
たまに日本語から出る。Happy Balls! Come to Happy Balls! 沖縄
And sometimes they'll keep responding in English, which I think is kind of funny.
¿Podemos hablar español poquito?
Estoy aprendiendo ahora.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Mo-san. So today I'm going to interview half Japanese and also Japanese Brazilian, which is Nikkei Brazilian in Japanese. Okay, let's get started. ¿Você pode apresentar sua experiência como Nikkei?
Ok. Bom, eu nasci e cresci aqui no Japão, em Gunma. Meus pais, eles são de... Minha mãe é de Londrina, no Paraná, e meu pai, ele é de São Paulo. Os dois nasceram no Brasil, se conheceram no Japão, e eu nasci aqui no Japão.
How did your parents meet?
Oh, my parents meet. Oh, that's a funny story. Apparently, according to my mom, she used to work on a call center, and she ended up calling to my father, and it was kind of like, well, they called, they started talking, and then they met, and I was born. Like in a short, that's what happened. Yeah.
Quando você falar com família, sua família, qual língua você fala com dela?
A gente fala em português, mas a gente mistura um pouco de japonês. Então, eu vou comprar pão, daijoubu. So, a gente mistura um pouco de gomen, daijoubu, hima. Todos os dias minha mãe manda mensagem falando, não faz muri. Muri shinai de. So, like, português, não faz muri.
ブラジルの方になんか友達が結構いるのか、日本にもどっちが多いとか同じぐらい。
まあ多分ブラジルの方。まあ日本人の友達はいない。なんて、I think the mindset is a bit different. 私ブラジルの方がもっと似合ってる考え方とか。そうそう。
日本で生まれて何歳まで育っ
5歳の時に1回ブラジルに行って、ワールドカップの時で多分6ヶ月ぐらいブラジルに行ってまた日本に帰って高校卒業するまでまた2年間ちょっと勉強してでその後大学に入学、できました。
ブラジルの大学？
そうブラジルの大学。
ブラジルのどこ？
ロンドリナパラナ。
Is there any like difference being Nikkei in Brazil and in Japan?
Something that I feel is like everywhere, like in Japan and in Brazil, will always be the foreigner. We're not like, I'm not 100% Japanese, and they can notice by the way that I put my makeup on, the way that I put my hair. Like Japanese, なんか前髪が the hair of Japanese people are different, the way that they do the makeup. In Brazil, I'm also like, I'm the Japanese, like, you know, so they have all those stereotypes. Like when I used to go to clubs when I was younger, Brazilian guys would come like, oh, I never kissed a Japanese girl, like, and that would be, super uncomfortable. So, the feeling that I think most of the Nikkei Brazilian have is that sometimes we don't belong unless, like, we're with the people that are also Nikkei Brazilian.
From now, it's gonna be like a controversial, but have you ever experienced kind of negative experience?
私のなんていう発音に対してなんか接客した時にお客様がなんかその外国の方ってなんか私
日本で
そうマックそうお客様がなんかいろいろが起こってその日が本当に混んでてそう物がコロナのためでポテトがちょっと少なかったからなんかニュースで S サイズしか売ってないってどこでも出てたんだよね。でそのお客様が怒られてそのお店何も売ってないって言ったんだよね。でなんか私のマネージャー呼んでたらマネージャーがそのお客様と話したらお客様がその外人さんとかなんかたまにそんなことが、
発音で見抜かれたっていうか
そうそれと多分そんなに難しい言葉が使わないから。
In Japan, when you go to some like places like convenience store, restaurant, whatever, the people who work there so talk to you English or Japanese?
I think mostly in Japanese. But today something funny happened. I went to buy almond milk and there was some kanji written and I don't read too much kanji. I asked, すいません, I don't read too much kanji. What's written here? 日本語で. And she starts like saying in like English, like, sugar,ない, no sugar. お砂糖が入ってないんですかって I asked. And she was like, and then she switched to Japanese again.
漢字はあんまり
多分小学3年生までかな。
ひらがな、カタカナは
ひらがな、カタカナ OK。
Do you think you are like more Brazilian vibes, Japanese or whatever, like in terms of making up stuff, fashion, style?
I would say mostly Brazilian. When it comes to the way that I dress, the way that I behave, I think I'm more Brazilian than Japanese. Besides that, Brazilian people most of the times they're late. I mean, today was an exception. I'm sorry, but yeah.
全プログラマー
Oh, thank you. But yeah, most of the times Brazilian people are late or and they don't really follow the rules. Like we always have a way to make things happen. So yeah. Yeah.
In the future, which country you wanna live? Brazil, Japan, or you can not decide?
I still didn't decide. I'm still trying to find a place, but I really like Okinawa. I like the weather. I like because the people, like there's many international people here. So like here we have German guests, like people from France, United States sometimes, and also like the Asian countries. So I think it's really nice, and also like have the Japanese like konbini toka, konbini restaurant, the Japanese cuisine, which is really good. And yeah, I think I like Okinawa, but I still don't know yet.
日本語の学校には行ってたのか
日本の学校行ったことないけど、お家でたまに話してたんだよね。でも、16歳の時にセブンイレブンに働いてたんだよね。それが初めてのThe official アルバイトで、それで日本語で接客するともっと学べるようにしてたので、その後ジョイフルファミリーレストランしてる。それで、また接客で日本語をもっと覚えるようにしましたので。
夢を見るときは何語で見ることが多い
夢日によってたまにmost of the times ポルトガル語その後英語日本語は見ない日本語
Quando você fala português, inglês e japonês, sua personalidade é diferente ou mesmo?
どうかna? I think my Japanese side is more. Peraí. Em português que eu tenho que responder. Quando eu falo japonês, eu acho que eu sou mais educada. Motto tene, なんかすいませんとか like I become more Japanesey. Quando eu falo português, eu acho que eu sou mais expressiva, mais you know.
Como brasileira.
Como brasileira, sim. Inglês, eu não sei. Mas eu acho que deve mudar alguma coisa.
Ultimamente, você quer algo coisa para pessoas que inscreveram no canal? Algo coisas?
元さんの YouTube チャンネルに How do I say subscribe? Yeah.
登録。
じゃあポルトガル語のSe inscrevam no canal do Moto-san e venham para Okinawa.
Actualmente, ele tem canal de YouTube e Instagram. If you're interested in, please check it out. Descrição embaixo. Muito obrigado.
Imagina, eu que agradeço.
Ciao, ciao. Can you introduce your background?
My background, I'm half Okinawan and half American. I was born and raised in Northern Virginia.
When it's the first time to came here?
First time ever coming to Okinawa. I was a baby, but first time living here was maybe 4 years ago.
Can I ask, like, how did your parents meet? So,
My parents met. My mom did a study holiday in America when she was maybe 21, and they met when she was in America over there.
When you talk your family, you speak only English or sometimes speak Japanese?
So, with my dad, it's just English and English. But with my mom, I speak to her in English and she responds in Japanese only.
So is there any like difference being like half American, half Japanese in United States and being half American, half Japanese in Japan, Okinawa? Because it's totally different, right, in terms of like diversity. So is there any like difference, do you feel?
Yeah, there's a big difference, I feel like. Everyone here in Japan automatically knows that I'm half. So they always ask me like, oh, half desu ka? They always know that I'm half Japanese. But in America, no one thinks I'm Asian at all. I get Hispanic a lot. I've gotten Middle Eastern before, or just white. But no one ever thinks I'm Asian in America. But everyone's welcoming no matter what, so...
When you go to some places in Japan, people talk to you like English or Japanese because people can tell you half Japanese, half American, right?
So I think when I go to like konbini, they always try to talk to me in English. And even if I start speaking in Japanese, they'll still only speak to me in English. Yeah, that happens a lot. But most of the time, like restaurants and places like that or stores, if I start speaking, they always come up to me with English. But if I start speaking Japanese, they'll get a lot more comfortable and start speaking Japanese back. But yeah, sometimes they will only want to speak English with me. So
But you don't mind that
I
much.
don't mind.
So have you ever tried to like identify like yourself? You feel like you're more like American or Japanese? That's a difficult question.
It is a difficult question. Well, I was raised in America, so I think that will always maybe come first because I had to get used to it was a culture difference, definitely coming to Okinawa. But I'm really grateful to have been able to come here since I was a baby. Every summer I spent all of my summers here, so I had a really good exposure of coming here and spending that time here as an Okinawan person. But I definitely had to get used to this culture because I was raised with the American culture. But I love being half, and I love my Okinawan side so much.
What about your like fashion or makeup stuff or American style, Japanese style, or depends?
When I came here, it was definitely more American. But I think now it's like a lot more light and it's a lot more looking than it was when I first came here. Now I think I want to like embrace the Asian style more. I'm always in baggy clothes now and a lot comfortable style.
So I think you have like this. You got like shisa tattoo
I do have shisa tattoo.
because of Okinawa.
I love Okinawa.
That's good.
I thought it was a perfect tattoo, but it's super gaijin poi.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Thank you.
I heard you cannot read and write that much kanji, right?
Oh yeah, I cannot read or write kanji.
When you go to like real estate, city office or some places, how could you like overcome this kind of situation? You don't need to write kanji or?
No, I always ask if they have like an English form or I'll already say like I can't read or write in kanji. Can you please help me? And they'll usually write for me. Okinawa is really nice about helping me write kanji for me at a lot of like government offices and places like that. So, but I think maybe when I speak, people also think that I can read and write too. But no, it's two completely different skills.
But you can read and write hiragana, katakana.
Hiragana, katakana is okay. I'm slow, but I can read it.
Okay. This question is gonna be difficult. So, in the future, which would you like to live in Okinawa, US, or another country?
This is a super easy question. I would love to stay in Okinawa. I want to experience living in other countries, maybe like Europe or Australia. But I always want to come back to Okinawa, and I zero interest going back to States.
Oh,
I don't want
is there any specific reason?
it's so much better here. It's safer here. The quality of life is so much better here. Yeah, I'm thinking about America. I'm always like worried. Yeah, so I never want to go back to live in America. I'll live other countries, but always come back to Okinawa.
ここからちょっとだけ日本語。
頑張ります。
日本語はお母さんと話すことで学んだのか、なんか日本語の学校とか行ったのか。
初めて話すのは多分引っ越しする後かな。4年前ぐらい。でもこのもう赤ちゃんの時からもずっとお母さんの日本語を聞いてて、それでなんか聞き取れる？
ちょっとは聞き取れる。
そう。だけど喋るのは初めて、英会話1年ぐらい。
夢を見るときは日本語で夢を見るときもあります。英語で大体。
あ、夢？
夢。
多分ほとんど英語かな。考えることは多分半分日本語と半分英語。でも夢は大体多分英語かな。たまに日本語から出る。
Thank you for your time.
ありがとうございます。
So, if you wanna see her, you can visit Happy Ball.
Happy Balls! Come to Happy Balls, Okinawa!
What do you serve?
We serve acai bowls, 4 flavors of acai bowls, and really good toast and really good smoothies. And we're by the beach, so it's really nice.
Please check it out from description.
ありがとうございます。
By the way, like 2 days ago, you went to Kabakura, right? What was it like for the first time?
Yeah, it was my first time I got to Osaka or Okinawa that day, and my plan was just to have a couple drinks and go home. And then you saw I met 4 guys here in Okinawa, and I was out till like 6:30 the next morning, drinking all night with those guys. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Could you introduce your background?
Sure. My name is Sean. I'm from California, Los Angeles. My mom is Japanese. My dad is white. So when I was little, I grew up going to Japanese school. My mom spoke in Japanese, so I can speak Japanese and of course English. And yeah, now I'm just here traveling in Okinawa. I try to come like once a year to Japan, but first time in Okinawa this year.
ずっともうアメリカで生まれ育ったのか、なんかちょっと日本の中の学校行ってた時もあったのか。
いや、日本の学校はアメリカで毎週土曜日に行ってたけど、日本に住んだことはない。住みたいけど、住んだことない。
Is there any difference being half Japanese in the United States and in Japan?
It's funny, when I'm in the US, everyone just thinks I'm just Japanese. And to them, I mean, Los Angeles is pretty diverse, so there's a lot of Asians, a lot of Europeans, a lot of everything. So, another Japanese guy is not that uncommon. But every time I'm here, it is funny, like the Japanese people will know, oh, he's maybe half, he's definitely not from Japan. And they're usually always like very excited about it or happy about it, like, oh, it's so cool. I've never had any bad experiences or anything. And also everyone's been very welcome, to talk to me in Japanese, or maybe they want to speak in English, and I'm totally okay with that too.
So when you go to some convenience store or restaurant, whatever, people talk to you like English or Japanese, like at the first time.
Usually Japanese. I've had a couple times where I go to a restaurant and they speak in English, and then I'll respond in Japanese. And sometimes they'll keep responding in English, which I think is kind of funny. But sometimes they'll realize, oh, okay, Japanese is okay, and they'll speak in Japanese.
About your fashion style, do you feel you are more Americanized or Japanese?
My style, I think, is more American. I've gotten told here. I'll ask, how can you tell I'm not Japanese? And they're like, oh, maybe the way you dress.
Which part of your personality you feel like I'm American? Which part of you do you feel like, oh, I'm Japanese? So it's kind of difficult question.
Yeah, it is a difficult question. I think maybe, of course, like I have a American side to me because of course I grew up there. But I was mostly raised by my Japanese mom, so it is a good mix of like I, have kind of grown up around Japanese culture with my mom, but in America, so it's a good mix, I think. Yeah.
By the way, could you read kanji?
Kanji wa yomenai. No. Hiragana and katakana, yes, but kanji is like very beginner level, like first grade level. Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem. Sometimes I'll go out to eat, and like while I can talk to them in Japanese, and then they'll give me a menu, and I'll have to be like, sumimasen, kanji yomenai. And they're like, oh, here's the English menu or something. Yeah, it's a little embarrassing.
When you stay in Japan, what would you miss about America? What you wouldn't miss America?
One thing I don't miss when I'm here is just how like structured everything is. Like you're going up the escalator and everyone of course moves to one side, and then everyone can walk up one side. Or just like everyone here is a little more polite. Not to say that Americans can't be polite. Of course they are. But yeah, I've noticed that, especially when I'm here. As far as things I miss, I mean, of course, I love America, but there's nothing like specifically that I miss. Yeah.
日本語はどういうふうに学んでいったっていうか。
まあ小さい時学校に行ってたけど、ほとんど家でお母さんと一緒に話すのは多分一番そうやって習ったと思うけど、今はあんまり使ってないから、いっぱい忘れたけど、日本に来る時とかお母さんと話す時ちょっと頑張って話そうとしてます。
夢とか見るときは全部英語で見る。
いや全部英語。時々今スペイン語を習ってるけど、時々スペイン語で話そうとしたら間違えて日本語ちょっと出る時もあるけど、どうしてかわかんないけどそこら同じところかな、その違う言葉を習う時そこI don't know. Same part of the brain, when you're learning different languages.
How long have you been learning Spanish?
Seriously, about 2 months. Yeah, but last year, just kind of on my own, I was studying. But January this year, so 2 months ago, I hired a tutor, and so I meet with her online, and we practice, and she's teaching me. So yeah.
¿Podemos hablar español poquito?
Un poco, sí. Ya, estoy aprendiendo ahora.
¿Es normal de aprender español en Estados Unidos?
I think depending on the location. I grew up in LA, so there's a big Hispanic community there. I think like Texas also would be pretty common.
In the future, where do you want to live? You haven't decided?
Oh, I don't know. I think right now I want to kind of just hop around a little bit, like spend a couple years. Like I would like to live in Japan for a couple of years, and then I don't know, maybe somewhere else. I don't know. I'm open. Maybe somewhere in Europe, South America. Who knows? Yeah.
At the end, you want to say something?
No, I don't have anything. Thank you for the interview. It was fun. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for watching so far. How was it? If you have any request, advice, or question, please leave a comment. See you next time.